Every empire in history believed its money would last forever. The Romans thought their silver denarius was eternal. The Spanish believed gold from the New World would keep them rich forever. The British believed the pound sterling would never lose its dominance. And Americans today believe the dollar is too powerful to fall. But history tells us the same story. Over and over again, every empire's currency eventually becomes worthless. The tragedy isn't just about coins or banknotes losing value. It's about entire civilizations collapsing because they lost faith in the very thing that bound their economies together: their money. Money is not metal. It's not even paper. At its core, money is trust. A collective agreement that the symbol in your hand, whether it's a silver coin, a paper note, or a digital entry on a screen, has value. And once that trust is broken, the fall is violent, sudden, and irreversible. The Romans debased their silver until it was more copper than coin. Spain drowned Europe in gold, but inflation ate it away. Britain borrowed so heavily to defend its empire that debt crushed the pound. And the US dollar today? It's walking the same path, only on a global scale. This isn't just history, it's a cycle. And if you look closely, you'll see the cracks forming right now. So let's uncover the forgotten truth. Why every empire's currency becomes worthless, how it happens step by step, and what it means for us living in the shadow of the next great collapse. Rome wasn't destroyed in a day. Its collapse took centuries. But one of the greatest silent assassins of the empire was its money. The Roman denarius was once among the most trusted currencies in the world. Made of nearly pure silver, it traveled across continents, used from Britain to Mesopotamia. Roman soldiers were paid with it. Merchants trusted it, people hoarded it. But war is expensive, and Rome's wars never stopped. Expansion demanded more legions, more forts, more grain, more trade routes. The emperors faced a brutal choice: raise taxes and anger the people, or quietly debase the currency. They chose debasement. A denarius that had been nearly pure silver under Augustus eventually contained less than 5% silver by the 3rd century. The rest was copper. To the naked eye, it looked the same. But people noticed. Markets adjusted. Prices soared. Soldiers demanded more coins. Trust evaporated. By the time of the crisis of the 3rd century, Rome wasn't just fighting barbarian invasions, it was fighting inflation. Whole provinces broke away. Trade collapsed. The empire minted more and more coins that were worth less and less. By the end, Roman money was a hollow shell, and with it, the empire itself began to disintegrate. This was the world's first great hyperinflation. And it set the pattern. Every empire, no matter how strong, eventually prints or debases its money into worthlessness. Spain's empire should have been invincible. In the 1500s, gold and silver from the Americas poured in by the ton. Ships arrived in Seville loaded with treasure beyond imagination. By all logic, Spain should have been the richest empire in Europe forever. But too much money is as deadly as too little. The sudden flood of gold and silver didn't make Spain wealthier. It destroyed the value of money everywhere. This was the price revolution. Across Europe, prices quadrupled. Wages lagged behind. Ordinary people were crushed while the aristocracy indulged in luxuries. Spain spent its wealth on endless wars, against the Ottomans, the Dutch, the English. Instead of investing in industry, it imported goods from others. The gold left as fast as it arrived. By the 17th century, Spain was bankrupt several times over. Its empire cracked. The lesson? Even mountains of gold can't save an empire if its money is mismanaged. Spain proved that too much money is just another road to worthlessness. The British Empire rose not on gold or silver, but on debt. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Britain pioneered the idea of financing power through government bonds. Investors trusted the pound. London became the world's banker. But debt is addictive. Britain borrowed to fight Napoleon, to police its colonies, to build its navy. The pound sterling became the global reserve currency. Yet every war left scars of debt. By the 20th century, the empire was drowning in it. World War I cracked the system. Britain borrowed heavily from the US. By World War II, The empire was bankrupt. The pound collapsed. The US dollar replaced it. The empire that ruled the waves was sunk by debt. Once again, currency followed empire into decline. The US dollar rose from the ashes of the pound. After WWE, the Bretton Woods system tied global currencies to the dollar, and the dollar to gold. The US controlled 2/3 of the world's gold reserves. Trust was absolute. But then came Vietnam. Then came welfare programs. Then came printing. By 1971, Nixon closed the gold window. The dollar became pure fiat. Since then, the US has done what every empire does: print, borrow, repeat. The dollar still rules, but cracks are forming. Debt above 30 trillion, inflation surging after decades of money creation. Rivals like China and Russia challenging the system. The cycle is clear. The dollar, too, will one day join the denarius, the Spanish real, and the pound as another empire's worthless money. From Rome to Spain, from Britain to America, the story is always the same. Empires believe their money is different. They believe it's eternal. But trust is fragile. The cycle looks like this: rising power, strong money backed by trust or metal, expansion, war, trade, influence, debt and printing, easy money to fund endless growth. Collapse, currency loses trust, empire declines every single time. No exceptions. And here's the warning: cycles are accelerating. Rome took centuries. Spain collapsed in under 200 years. Britain in about 100. The US, barely 80 years since Bretton Woods. The end may come faster than anyone expects. So what does all this mean for us today? It means the dollar is not invincible. It means no currency is. And it means we must prepare for a future where trust in money breaks again. Maybe sooner than we think. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. Rome debased. Spain drowned in gold. Britain drowned in debt. America is drowning in both printing and debt at once. The cycle is converging. The forgotten lesson is this: currencies are temporary, but collapse is permanent. When money fails, societies don't just lose wealth. They lose stability, trust, and often freedom. But those who understand the cycle, those who prepare, can survive and even thrive. Gold, real assets, skills, networks, these outlive paper promises. Every empire's currency eventually becomes worthless. But individuals, if wise, don't have to fall with it.